Hi, my name is Monica Kretschmer, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Universal Women's Network, Woman of Inspiration Awards, and this is the Woman of Inspiration podcast, where we speak with women who lead, inspire, and motivate. So today's guest is one of courage, creativity, and choosing yourself. Our guest is Caroline Bergeron. She is an internationally known artist and owner of Aro, an abstract artist, author, multiple author. You are speaker and founder and CEO of Aro Artiste. So let me tell you just a little bit about her career. She has a career in business and hospitality, and it's never a straight line. Carolyn made a fearless pivot in 2017 to follow her true calling, art. What followed was an extraordinary rise, international exhibits from New York to Paris, including Carousel du Louvre, and the honor of creating a piece for the one and only Michelle Obama. But this story isn't just about artistic success. It is about a woman who built profound loss through profound loss, burnout, and a defining moment where she had to choose life and choose to rebuild through self-love, authenticity, and creative expression. She was recognized as a 2025 Woman of Inspiration
Woo!
Art and Entertainment Award recipient, and she uses her art, her truth to remind others that it's never too late to rise, to heal, and to become who you were truly meant to be. Caroline, welcome to the Woman of Inspiration podcast, and listeners, get ready to be inspired.
Thank you so much, Monica. I really appreciate to be here with you. And you will know I'm a French Canadian. My English is not perfect, but I'm sure you will understand me. And I'm really pleased to be here. And thank you so much for the invitation.
Well, I'm so happy to have you. And, I cannot, I know that we talked about it briefly in the green room, but heart to hand for those listeners, like my hand is on my heart when I say this. You have a remarkable story. And I, every woman has a story, but it's so deeply personal. And I think that's why we've built the Women of Inspiration podcast. We need to tell the stories of women because we need to show others what is possible. That we it's never the highlight reel. There's always parts of messy and almost giving up. And your story is really about that transformation. So listeners, get ready. And Caroline, I'm thrilled to have you. And your English is perfect. I love the accent.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's dive in. Now, I always am really intrigued personally to hear, I remember as a little girl thinking, what do I want to be when I grew up? And that's always sort of the question that we as adults ask our kids. But I'm always really curious about the women that I interview, asking them that same question. Do you remember what you wanted to be when you grew up? And how that sort of weaved into your life and your ambitions for the future. So, do you remember what 12-year-old Caroline wanted to be when she grew up?
At that age, I was already a girl with passion in business. And I grew up in a family business. So the entrepreneurship and all those relationship to a customer and having a product or a service to sell and being in a relationship with others is was very strong at that age too. I started working at the age of 13 years old in the family business. So I always thought at that time that it will be something that I will be just pass on my family business and be the one that will bring this to a different level when I will be older.
And so what changed as you began to work through that? I mean, I bet your family was like, "Great, that's a huge success and we'd love to have the success of the family business continue, but how did it really unravel for you where you knew that you wanted something that didn't involve that?"
Yeah. At the age of 19, my father told me to go elsewhere to bring new experience and come back because throughout all my childhood and teenagers part of my life, I I was the girl of the boss. So and so I for remove that ticket that people give to me,
Oh,
they
so for the listeners, so the bus meaning that you already had a predetermined path
yeah,
that you didn't have to really work too hard or you were just going to be
exactly.
handed
It
a
was
free
easy for
pass.
me. Exactly.
Okay.
So he told me that just to go somewhere else and come back in few months. And at that time, I just finished school in marketing and administration. And so I was hired by Campbell Soup Company at the age of 19. And I started working for Campbell. And really fast, they moved me in Montreal, so 3 hours from the family. So my experience that's supposed to take just few months, I left 10 years elsewhere with my husband, and my daughter was born in Montreal during the time I was working for Campbell Soup Company. So, and at the age of 29, I wake up a morning and say, oh my God, I work so hard for a company that is a multinational company that I give the energy as if it was my company, but I didn't receive the payback of my effort because it's a big company. So at that time, I had the call to come back to Quebec and maybe took over the family business that my father requests that we should do. And I say, let's go. So I left my job, a very big job, big position, and came back to Quebec with my husband and daughter. She at that time 3 years old. And so we took over the last restaurant that my father owned in the old city of Quebec down the Chateau Frontenac. So it was one of the best location in town, 300
Absolutely.
seats, 75 employees. So, and we invest our life in this adventure for 16 years. And throughout that process, I was curious to meet other entrepreneur because I always felt as a um, not bizarre person, but talking about what you live when you own a business with you can share your thoughts or your challenge with your employees. So you keep it for you, and sometimes you feel that you should share with other living the same thing of you. And it's the reason why I ended up at the entrepreneurship school of Beauce, one of the biggest entrepreneurship school in Canada, to meet other entrepreneur as me and have the chance to discuss.
Beautiful. So, I mean, that's a lot of career, the creative vehicle, learning behind the inner workings of the Campbell Soup Company, which is a legacy brand.
Yeah,
There aren't very many legacy brands that had that run and that relevance that they still do today.
yeah.
Um, but you've also had the opportunity to jump into the family business and really learn that inner working there. So, that 20 years or it's more, it's almost 3 decades of
Yeah.
working corporate and entrepreneur. What was that creative awakening that you had in 2017? Because there's another piece to your story that's coming that has nothing to do with the corporate or the entrepreneurship
No.
path that you chose earlier.
And if you told me that day before this specific event that I will one day create for Michelle Obama, exhibit worldwide, paint, I won't believe you because I always say that I have any creative ability in me. It was fault at that time, but so it's a Saturday night, February 4th, so it should be 9 years this year. It will come in next weeks. But so we enter in a room on a Saturday night with wine and a big buffet, and they offer us a creative workshop with blank canvas and paint and wood and all kinds of materials that we can use. So we maybe construct something on the canvas or paint. And the first painting I did is the one beside me. So it's the one that everything start that night. So it's my first painting in my life. I never did that before that moment. And I something shifted me because I realized that night that all my life I was living for the to planify the future, that I forgot to live the present moment.
Mm.
And that activity of painting, I just cut off my mind, and I just feel something very rich in my heart. And I lose the time, the control of the time. I was just in the moment, feeling great, feeling well, and I said, oh my god, it tastes so good, I want it more. So the day after I came back from the school to Quebec, and I stopped at the furniture store and I bought a lot of stuff, painting stuff, and I just start painting for the fun. But really, really fast, people saw the change in me and asked me, "Oh my God, what's new in your life? You feel so joyful." And I say, "Oh my God, I start painting." "Are you painting wall?" "No, I paint like a real painting, a pieces, art." And they say, "Oh, can we see it?" And I start showing them my painting. And do you sell it? And I start selling my art. And 7 months after, I was introduced in a art gallery. And since then, I'm just writing the story because I don't have the beaux-arts path of most of the artists that can live from their art. And at the age of 42, doing that shift, selling everything to make sure that the painting will take all the space. So it was a big shift at that moment. So during 3 years, I I live with the painting. I construct Arrow's story, Arrow, but also have the restaurant as well. So I had two big career in the same time, and I hit the wall in 2020 with the COVID. When the COVID hit, we lose everything in our restaurant. So it was a big, big shock at that time, because when you take bad decision, you are responsible. You know, okay, I made some error, but with the COVID, we didn't. It's just something worldwide that hit us, and it changed the path. It changed. We already sold the restaurant like 5 weeks before the being paid, and we lose that sale. So the combination of all this big uh, situation that was really hard to manage, uh, bring me uh, bring me at the experience of I was suffering so much. I don't want to suffer anymore. So I attempt to my life in May 2020, and it was the worst part of my life, because when you wake up and you're still there, the suffering is still very present, but the consequence of your act, it's really bad. So it changed everything in my life, with my daughter, with my husband, with my colleague, with my employees. And so I had to look myself in a mirror and say, oh my God, what bring you that? Did you have any um, uh, I'm looking for the word, but when you see that something's going bad, or you have some,
Would it be an insight? Any like did you
you
have
know
any
that you're going
preparation?
to
Were
hit
you
the wall if you
prepared?
don't do anything. Exactly.
Like you had no preparation for really, it just was a feeling
And you
that
see
you
it coming. You see that it's coming if you don't do anything, and you don't find any way to go out of this. So, and I realized that when you own big businesses, you always show people that you are strong. It's very difficult at that time just to raise your hand and say, oh my God, I need help, bring me to the hospital because I'm dangerous for myself. And at the hospital, they discovered that my cortisol in my blood was 10 times higher than normal situation human can live with. So it attacked a part in my brain. So I was sick, and I was sick since few years because I was running marathon in work since 16 years, working like 80 to 90 hours per week, have a delivery in 20 minutes, don't know what I will have to deliver in restaurant business is that. And with throughout the years, the expectation of the customers are always higher because it's a very luxe and very expensive um, activity to go to the restaurant. So people have expectations. So you have to deliver what the needs, and the delay is very short. So and throughout all those years, I realized that it was a lot of pressure I put on myself.
I, first off, I want to say thank you for sharing such a personal story and journey. Your courage is felt, and I just want to say I see you. Like
Thank you.
I'm giving you a virtual hug right now because
I
I,
take
I
it.
just want to say thank you for being so bold and strong and courageous.
Yeah.
There are so many people listening right now that it,
Mm.
whether it's them or somebody in their family or a friend, but I think those feelings are not as uncommon
No,
as we know. And of course, there's so
you
thank
think that is the kind of story that happened to everybody without accepting you, but when it's come to you, you say, oh my god, okay, I need to do something with this. First of all, I had to care of myself, to
you.
learn how to care of myself, self sufficient. And I reconstruct my confidence and everything throughout the time. And being the feeling of being guilty or the shame that I was feeling after that moment, it changed everything because after that, having the opportunity just to share my story, I realized that is part of the way I can be better, just to be authentic, show my life through my shade parts and light parts of who I am, and just I am who I am. I can't change the past, and I can just make sure that this episode won't come back first. And after that, if I can inspire people, say, no matter what you're going through in your life, uh, there's always a solution to shine. There's always a moment you can raise your hand and say, I need help. And for sure, you will find the help you need.
So let
So
so let me ask you something. Do you remember what was that moment that how did that ask for help look for you? Who did you ask for help?
I didn't.
You didn't.
No, I was strong, and I was living my life through the eyes of others. So, and I was so strong, and the expectation of people. There's something that I don't want to disappoint people. I don't want to be seen as someone with trouble, something with. So I just want to quit, avoid the situation. I was in an emergency of suffering. So I, at that time, I didn't. I, I was so sick in my mind that I didn't relate having a possibility that there's a solution in my path at
And
that
so
time.
and so you woke up
Yeah.
and
And
maybe
I had to see myself in the mirror and face my action.
so what was that journey like? How long did that journey take you? Because I can't, it's such a heavy, dark, personal
Yeah.
journey.
It
And
took 2 weeks in the hospital, and after that, I we end up selling the restaurant throughout my hospitalization. So we give the restaurant. So we don't. The first transaction was really really interesting, and we take our retreat. But the second one, we just give the restaurant to make sure that I won't have to come back to it. So I just feel relief and free, so I
right.
had all the time in front of me just to recover. So we go to the cottage with my family and friends, and I just try to reconnect with myself. And I was followed by a psychiatrist, a psychologist.
Psychiatrist. You
Exactly.
got it.
And she helped me just to pass through all the steps I should pass to make sure that I can look myself in the mirror and start loving me throughout this episode of my life. So
And
it took
that's
2 years of, I would say, reconstruction, of clarity, of w- all the signal that I had in the past that bring me to that, hitting that kind of wall. And I understand. I understand everything, all the steps of all the 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 belief in me that it wasn't proper one, that bring me, that I push myself too hard, and I forgot to be my best friend. I left me.
well, I'm glad that that realization
Yeah.
and you and doing the work that you're doing right now. I do want to ask in that weight, when that weight of this uncontrollable business that
Mhm.
you couldn't control was your responsibility,
Yeah.
did you felt it immediate? And so if that would have happened earlier, that could have changed your experience.
Yeah. Yeah, but I would say that I won't be the one I am now. That if I didn't pass through this bad episode in my life, it was a wake up call.
Mm.
I just feel I'm on a mission now of taking care of me, my family, my friends, and knowing the sense of true living. What does it mean? And I'm walking a path actually just to remove my thinking about what others will think. So what I think. So it's completely different. And I'm a super positive woman. I'm my spirit is. I'm generous. I'm joyful. I, and I can realize. I can imagine how tough it was to go eating that wall, knowing that I'm not that kind of person.
Mm.
And but it happened, so I have to live with it, accept it, welcome it, love it. And so it's a, yeah, it's a specific path.
I'm also going to say you are one strong and brave woman.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
No.
And coming out the other side and doing the work that you're doing. I, were you painting during this whole process? Did you stop painting? Were there signs there when you started painting? Because if we talked about 2017, you picked up the brush for the first time at 42
Yeah.
and you never painted before, but you were
Never.
always creative. And
Yeah,
then
in more like
between
scrapbooking and ceramics and stuff like that, but never in painting, drawing, artistic way of doing something with my hand. No.
incredible. So I want to really talk about like 2017 to
Yeah.
2020, that
Yeah.
time period in between
Yeah.
where you're in your flow, in your genius
Yeah.
of stepping into your artistic expression.
Yep.
And you did so much. Like, how did you? Okay, so I got to say, there's a couple things that I want to know, and I'm sure our listeners do too. So, in that 3 year period where you
Yep.
really picked up the paintbrush for the very first time,
Yep.
you showed your work in New York and Paris,
Yep.
and you create a piece for Michelle Obama. So, how did some people work their entire life honing a craft and they never
Yeah.
have that,
The
never
shift.
mind in that 3 year period. So, how
Yeah.
did those things come to life?
My first exhibition, solo exhibition in the art gallery that I signed 7 months after my first painting.
7 months.
The TV news covered the event, and they present me at the TV news as the next Riopelle of modern art. So I took my cell phone and looking whose Riopelle was because I didn't know. And the comparison was so big. So my phone rang the day after for a gallery from Montreal, say, we're going to New York. Are you coming with us? And in New York, a gallery from Paris say, we're going to Carrousel du Louvre in a month, and we want you with us. So my career start as those two nice opportunity. And in New York, I met some agent that want to represent myself. And so it just start like this. But Michelle Obama, it's completely different because she was in her period of promoting Becoming book, and she do a tour to present the book worldwide, and she was signed. Yeah,
Yeah,
she was signed
I'm
by.
pulling because I'm
Yeah,
pulling the Michelle Obama book right here.
yeah. So, and the city of Quebec that managed this show in Centre Vidéotron, the big stadium here in Quebec, they call me and say, we just signed Michelle Obama in a week in Quebec City, and we want to offer her a gift. And are you available to paint something for her?
Absolutely incredible. What an
Yeah.
honor.
Exactly. But I passed through all the inquiries about the security secret services, and because she can be relate to anything that is bad or not lean and perfect. So I passed all the steps, and I had the chance to meet her and present her the painting. And the the moment I had probably like 5 minutes with her, and she was so kind, so touchable, so warm, and very curious. She asked me a lot of questions about the painting, and she looked me in my eyes as I was, that we were the only one in the room, but she was surrounding with a lot of people and secret services, police or assistants, but she looked at you as you feel that you are the most important person in her life at that precise moment. And it changed everything in my life that day, because I realized how good you feel when the person in front of you is 100% present to you.
Mm.
And I say, if I can work on myself to make sure that I can bring this effect to every person that will cross my road, my life, if I can make sure that they feel seen and respect and valuable, oh my God, I will change it. Remember me the quote of Maya Angelou that was Oprah and Michelle. And I don't know if you see Oprah, because it's completely
I
another
can see
story.
Oprah, and you've got two pictures for those
Yeah,
of you that are listening. So you can go onto YouTube because we've got the video recording.
yeah,
Michelle Obama is all over here. So she's in your background,
yeah.
and those two pictures. Is that the same meeting or different meetings?
Different meeting. Oprah wasn't. Oprah was
Oh,
a.
Oprah's in one. I can't. So Oprah's the other one, and then Michelle. Oh, lucky you, girl.
Yeah.
Two queens,
So,
two legends.
oh my God, it was an incredible moment in my life, and each pictures have a very specific meaning for me. And as you talk about your pictures of you and Michelle, it, for me, looking that, it's everything is possible. No matter
Mm.
what your big, how big is your dream, everything is possible. You just need to put the first step and move on. And is what I actually share in my books, in my speech, that no matter what is your life, what you're going through, what you pass through, if you have some goals and you put energy in you and you believe in you and you share to other people what your dream is, because you need to be loud and go show up, make sure that people know what you're looking for, and the rest will be story.
And that is the absolute truth. And I know that we had a little bit of a powwow in the green room. Um, and Michelle's been one of my, all time, Michelle and Oprah both. I mean, just, oh my God, the stories of just these two powerful women, but humble beginnings,
Yeah,
which is what I love so much about the stories is there was a transformation, personal
yeah,
journey, and it wasn't something that was handed to them. So I shared what I loved about your story about Michelle, and that's something that I noticed as well, because there was a very specific date, March 23rd, 2018, when she came to Calgary. I had that many, not 5 minutes, but I had a good chunk, which seemed to last like an hour, but it really wasn't. And in those moments, I do remember her looking at me like I was the only one in the room. And and I'll tell you, so here we go. So I brought her a letter and a scarf and a little bag because I knew I was going to meet her. And, anyways, I thought I could give her some gifts and my little letter. And security's like, no, sorry, ma'am, you can't take anything with you. And so what I did was I put my string, this one right here, because we're all connected by a bigger reason or a bigger purpose. And so this, I would talk about all my talks and I chop off every string with any participant and over the many stages over the past decade even. And so people have these strings. And so I was like, this one's for Michelle Obama. Cut off that bigger spool. I tucked it into my bra. And I'm like, can't get me there. So when I had my few minutes with her, I reached and I go, I have something to share with you. And I was just like, pull this out of my bra and I give her the string. Here's the interesting thing though. That picture that you see up there, if you look at it closely, she puts her arm around me, and what was present was that string. That little bit of exchange that we had, I shared who I was, what that string symbolized, and she made sure that it was visible in the picture. And it was like so powerful. And I'll remember that because there are so many people that get to a stage of influence
yeah.
that she's
It's
so
always how you
good.
use your voice and make sure that people surrounding you feel seen.
Oh, it's powerful. And so I've taken that
Mm,
with me onto every stage, in every interaction, into every business card or string presentation. And people look at me like, what the heck is she giving me a piece of string? Until I explain the significance and the meaning behind
yeah,
it. And then there's this big story. But with Michelle, it goes a little deeper because there's some things, and we talked about this in the green room, where we don't know how somebody has affected our life in such a major way.
yeah,
For you, she affected you and how you chart your course and the interactions that you make. For
yeah,
me, much like you, very same. I felt extremely seen. But what Michelle doesn't know was that date, March 23rd, 2018, how it really, there was something big that I haven't talked about before that I'd love to share with her. And I shared a little snippet with you in the green room. It's not for this podcast because it'll be in my book, but it's significant. we're going to have that conversation and that date and the string and that connection. Wow. It's all
Everything is in
connected.
everything.
All connected. And I loved how you also, so anyways, let's wrap up Michelle. Michelle, congratulations on the new book, The Look. And talking about we can't have it all, not at the same time. Let's stop being perfect. Let's stop trying to be so perfect,
No,
right? It's hard work. This whole thing that everything's a highlight reel, that's not reality.
no,
And I know that you had said, and I know that in the magazine the You Women magazine, you had said that you're not seeking for perfection. You're more finished your quote. Tell us about that. Let me
it,
help you. Do
yeah,
you want me to help you? You're not seeking for perfection.
no,
You're
no
seeking
more,
for
not
truth.
anymore.
For truth.
Yeah,
And, so it's not coming from a place of recognition. So stepping into that spotlight is not about perfection anymore. It's
no,
about truth.
it's about truth, but for me, it's to show myself as far as I can go, that there's no limit, there's no boundaries. I just feel in a box. I just feel that I was stuck in a box so long that art in 2017 just bring me another way of thinking, another way of doing. And now I just feel that I can show others that no matter what you hear, what you believe, what you live to in your life, now, if you want something different, you can do it. It's your life. You have the control, you have the power in your hand. So, and don't put too much emphasis of what people think or what you think they think, because sometimes it's your imagination that is very creative. And just do what you want to do, just explore. And I just, throughout the last few years, I just reconnect with my inner self, with my child joy, and without any expectation, just the playful, the playing without having any goal. Just do it, do what your intuition bring you, and just do it. Listen. I remove the noise. I remove I put a lot of space surrounding me now, just to make sure that I'm able to hear what my inner thoughts is, because I was lost in the noise all my life. And now I'm just feeling it, and it's better.
Can I also ask you something? I'm
Yeah,
54. Um, how old are you?
50.
Okay, so during that time, and I should have done the math, sorry, to put you on the spot. I celebrate each year. I think it's really important to embrace your age. But I was looking back to your timeline and where all these big changes were happening and what we're learning now about perimenopause and menopause, and some people reach menopause earlier. Like these are all compounding things that affect us emotionally, they affect us physically. So if we even look back to your period where the world is collapsing around you,
Yeah.
you were knee deep in perimenopause or even on the brink of menopause,
Oh, for sure.
when
And
your mind, you you lose brain fog is real, but
yeah.
you also don't feel like yourself at
No,
all. And
no.
so we don't even now, I look back at that time myself and I'm like, oh my God, well, that makes more sense. But I
Yeah,
didn't have any idea what was happening to my
yeah,
body or how it was affecting my brain.
yeah. And at the age of 29, I had a uterine cancer. So I had the hysterectomy surgery at the age of 29. So for sure, it changed all my hormones and everything for the rest of my life. But at that time, with all the stress I lived, we didn't relate to that, knowing what we know now. But for sure, there's a part of it that can be explained by hormonal, and the cortisol in my blood was so high. So for sure, the mix was really dangerous for myself.
Oh my, I am going to ask for that cortisol blood test. I want to just check my cortisol levels now. You know,
Yeah,
I'm like you. I work hard.
yeah,
There's hustle should be my middle name, and I think it's really important to get those levels checked because that's
yeah.
not something that your doctor would normally check, not knowing
No,
what we're up
exactly. But
against.
for me, it's a regular check. As soon as I overdoing things, I have difficulty of sleeping, or I feel stress, or overwhelmed about all the quantity, the amount of work I have to do. Uh, I, I'm sure automatically it affects my energy, my clarity, and so after that, now I just say stop, take care of you. You are the most important person in your life, and the one you will live the farther. So hope that the world will be joyful and funny. So make sure that you take care of you, because if you don't, nobody will do it for you.
That's the
It's,
truth.
yeah, my first responsibility now is to make sure that I'm going well, mentally, physically. And after that, I can do anything. But as soon as I have some sign of fatigue, I just see a big red stop sign and say, okay, relax.
Does
Give you
it, do you
time.
feel it in your gut where it's just like, I'm hitting that limit?
Yeah. Now, yes, because I passed through all the signal, throughout the all those years. So now the signal are very loud, very fast.
That is such a good lesson and reminder for all the women, or actually, and men that are
Yeah,
listening to really pay attention to what our body is telling us. The
yeah,
nose, oh, there has been some loud no's that I have ignored because
yeah.
I
You
wanted
feel
to
you can't take
get
care of you. You
something
can't
done.
stop
And
the train that is going so fast.
yep, well, such a great conversation. I want to, so I'm going to wrap up the Michelle Obama trip by saying my favorite quote by Michelle is when they go low, go high. And
Yeah,
that has gotten me through so much. I've always taken those high roads, but anyways, congratulations to you. I can see how that period of time doesn't it's nothing that anybody can ever take away from you. You earned it. And so I want to talk about how what you're carving now. I mean, you're a three-time author. Hold up your books again. Let's maybe share the names of the books with our listeners for the ones who can't see it. By the way, I love that picture. It is
thank
a
you.
picture of you sitting on the stool with your colorful art in the background. It's the happiest photo. And when I saw it, it brought me so much joy. So that photo is the cover of your book called The Sum of My Encounter. And that is your latest book. And it's a sneak peek of is it written as a memoir?
This is my first book. My
That is your
last
first
one,
book.
this is my first book, and the only one that I wrote that is available in English now. But
Okay.
the
So
next
that's the
one,
English version. Okay.
exactly, this one is the English version, and it's 122 stories about people that I encounter in my life that change my life, sometimes positively and sometimes badly. And I share it with my thoughts. So it's like a memoir, but it's more tips. Every text, every story, I want to leave the reader with a legacy of something powerful for him, that this is my truth, but what do you think about, or what you can relate from this story. So I give a legacy to the reader.
Girl, that is the string.
Yeah,
I hand this off to complete strangers that somehow I'm like, there's a reason why we met. There's a reason why we had this conversation. There's a bigger purpose here. I don't know what it is. I just feel it. And there's people that come into your life for a reason in a season, and we don't fully understand that yet. And sometimes, and that's okay, but there's a
Exactly.
purpose. And I think that most people walk every single day, bump into people and have conversations. And it's almost like, I don't know how to explain it. Um, Walking with your blinders on, right? Where
Yeah.
you're not present. And
Yeah.
so going back to Michelle, that present,
Oh my
that
goodness.
connection, those are memorable pieces. You never forget them. So
Yeah.
treating people that you meet for a reason and a purpose, you have that intention, you know it's for real. And it takes it to a whole other level.
Exactly. And someone told me a few years ago that there's two kind of person in front of you. One will be a customers in the way you are related to him, and the other one could be or should be an ambassador.
Ooh, I love it.
So the way you make them feel, they will be an ambassador for you. So maybe they're not a customer, but they know someone can be. So make sure that you treat everybody in the same way.
That's beautiful. That is a mic drop there. Um, I know that we're coming up on our time and I could talk to you all day. Listeners, so sorry. I almost forgot that we had listeners today because this conversation just got away from me. And I just want to say thank you so much, Caroline, again, for being so brave and honest and authentic and sharing so much about your journey with our listeners today. But let's go back to your art. I want to really talk about what's next because
Yeah.
that's really exciting. You have um, how did art become this form of where are you taking your art, number one? And how do you believe that creativity can be transformational, even if it is in the smallest ways or even in the biggest ways where it could save your life?
Yeah, for sure. Painting helped me pass through this period. And now it's the way I make people feel blessed, feel positively, because all my painting have a story and each story is right in the back of the painting, and they give hope, they are positive, they bring some answer that you're looking for. It's synchronicity, I would say. uh,
Synchronicity.
exactly. And it's all rendezvous with a painting and a buyer or collectors. And my next project, I'm leaving in few weeks for Dubai to show up over there my painting and my work over there. And but in Canada it's going well. I have some gallery represent my work in Quebec, in Ontario, and in Vancouver and Victoria. So it's going well, and my goal is just to be known in the famous gallery worldwide one day. I don't know how it will happen, but I walk every day with this goal that no, owning an arrow will be like owning a Picasso.
Oh my goodness. I got goosebumps. That's a big vision and I love it and I see it happening. And you know that even in our world of woman of inspiration, we've got Patricia Gagic,
Yeah,
which, and we talk
it's my
about,
mentor. She's my mentor. She's a friend of mine, and she's so wonderful, and she paved the road for all the women in art in front before us. Yeah.
and then I'm also going to say Carol Furman, who's building sculptures. She's traveled the world and her sculptures, excuse me, have been, you know, really out front and center on like Egypt and the Paris and the biggest places in Rome. And I see that happening. And so we have those people, we have those leaders that we're connected to, and it's just a matter of timing.
I don't know how, but I'm fully, I trust the universe that the thing will come to me at the proper moment. I need to be patient. I need to continue to help people throughout my painting, my story. And who knows? One day I will meet maybe your friend, and We
We're going
don't
to make
know.
that happen. We're not going to just leave that to chance. We're going to set intention and we're going to make that happen. I think that's
I we
also
love
some
this
things
idea.
too that we can do is we can set the intention.
Yeah, exactly. But thank you so much, Monica, for all what you've done and for the price and the recognition and the work. I know that you're working hard. I know that there's a lot of things coming in the future, and continue just one step at a time, and make sure that you ask all those women surrounding you a quick help to make sure that your dream come true.
Oh, I love that. It's the asking for help that we need to get better at, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. I think we can all be a little bit better asking for that help. And I know I need to do that more. Before we wrap up, this is the Woman of Inspiration podcast. You know, stepping into the spotlight is the hardest for women to do. So, what does it mean to be recognized as a woman of inspiration?
It means the world. It's an opportunity just to show others that it's possible to be seen, and you pave the road. For me, receiving this recognition, it's just a good help just to believe in yourself and say what I'm doing when nobody see, it's been seen. So continue. So thank you so much for the recognition. It changed everything. It's a big push of trust and confidence in myself.
Beautiful. I see the road for you, a straightforward path, surrounded by women who are like-minded on this journey with you. So, wrapping up, I know that I do have a couple more questions. Now, where can people find you is one. How can people find out about your books, find out about your paintings, all of that stuff so they can learn more? They've met you, now they're like, I want to see her work.
Aro Artiste, ARO, Artiste in French, ARTISTE.com. It's the website. Everything is available there. The book, the painting, everywhere. All the painting available worldwide are on my website with their story, and my speech, my book, my creative workshop. Everything is on my website. So it's the first place to know everything about myself.
Beautiful. And just because we have rapid fire and we save the best for last, what is one non-negotiable that you do that you've learned on your self-love journey? A daily non-negotiable that you're like, I got to have this.
My non-negotiable now is never left me again.
Mm.
I'm the
Every
most
day,
important person in my life.
put yourself first.
Yeah,
Well said.
yeah,
And if you could have a dinner
yeah.
with anybody in the world, who would it be?
Today, I would say Oprah again or Celine Dion.
Ooh, two baddies. I love. Celine is now on TikTok. It's
Yeah,
just incredible. Like the evolution, the transformation. And Martha
yeah,
Stewart has a podcast. And
yeah.
Oprah, like what the lesson these women are telling us is
Show
the
up.
grass does not grow beneath their feet. You
Yeah,
continue to evolve and do things
yeah,
in the world.
yeah.
Like I'm so
Experiment.
inspired about that transformation, that evolution, where
Oh,
we don't
yeah,
have to be one thing.
yeah. You can relate and stay who you are and show people who you are throughout the EI, throughout the social media, throughout your own post. I own my own podcast. It's called In the Head of Arrow. And I'm myself. If you like me, good. If not, don't listen to me. But yeah, so show up.
Beautiful. Okay, so Celine, nice wave to you as well. And I just want to say thank you again, Caroline, for your really, I mean, this podcast. I hope that listeners, here's your job. I'm going to ask that if you loved this podcast, please share this widely. You don't know who needs to hear this message, that it will reach them in a meaningful way. And I'm also going to say hit subscribe
Yeah,
and visit us on YouTube Spotify, of course, and then show some love. Show some love for Caroline, and I'm sure you have a contact us page on your website. So let us know your thoughts. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you much, Caroline, for sharing your journey with us. And I look forward to the journey ahead.
Thank you so much, and congratulations of what you're doing, Monica. It's
Thank you
wonderful.
so much. It means the world.